bad start. Center Eric Pauly aggravates his knee injury during warm-ups, misses the whole show. And while Pauly pavilioned it, the Cyclones swirled off the Ron Bayless steal to Justice Thigpen. Iowa State by 1 at the half. Jayhawks hang tough. Steve Woodbury to Darren Hancock, the JUCO whiz, but they're still down by a deuce. And after that, it's Ahoy Hoiberg. Fred Hoiberg with a $1.42 to play to Lauren Meyer for the Slammo, and the Cyclones are ahead by 3. Kansas has a final shot at it if they can hit the tray. Instead, it's Thigpen. Justice is neither denied nor delayed. Iowa State unbeaten in conference at home. They are 14-0, always ahead at Hilton. They've won 15 straight at home, number 15 against Kansas. Rhoda Heifer ejects Nittany Lion fan Jeff Kinded. Hit the road, you heifer. Kid said he couldn't figure it. He'd been yelling at the refs all year long, and one of his ref agents or kid agents couldn't talk the ref out of it. He missed the renaissance of Val Barnes. He'd scored 10 or less in 4 of his last 5 games, but from way downtown, way downtown, bang. And it's Happy Val Lee Barnes from the same spot. Barnes on the way to 33. Eventually, they don't even bother to guard him. Took the court off, players off the court. 6 for 6 from Deepville, and Bruce Parkhill had to keep looking uphill at Val Barnes. Nittany Lions lose by 16. 3 in a row for the Hawkeyes. Barnes makes 11 of 12 shots.
The Final Four finishes in Louisiana, and UNO, ranked 19th in the country, the Privateers unbeaten in the Sun Belt, visiting second-place Western Kentucky in the conference. Chance for UNO to clinch the conference title. This was a great game. Tony Madison, the dish to Irvin Johnson, who was held to single digits. New Orleans up 10 at the break. Second half now, under a minute left. Gerald Williams hits the 15-foot pull-up jumper, UNO by 4. But Darnell Mee down the lane, score it with 1. He hit the free throw. It was a 1-point game. And where do they go? To Mee again. That's Darnell Mee. Hits the 10-footer. We go to overtime, tied at 57. Tim Floyd's team in OT. Renee Mason, the drive to Darren Lesh for the hoop, 62-62. Let's go double overtime. And in the second OT, it's Williams, the 5'9" junior guard, with the big hoop that put UNO up 2. Western Kentucky, a 3 to tie, and Mee can't make it. That's not bad English. Mee and the rest of the Hilltoppers were 1 of 18. 25. Visiting Temple and getting an ugly one at McGonigal Hall. It's Aaron McKee with the steal and the jam. Temple led by as many as 25. And when McKee couldn't make it, it was William Cunningham, Mr. C, for the hoop. As Temple, a 2-point favorite, wins by 22 at home over 16th-ranked Tulane. Talk about that game in a minute. First in the Big East, 25th-ranked Pitt at Providence. Look out. That's why the Big East is down, because they keep running into each other. A struggle for Pittsburgh. Jerry McCullough did hit a hoop there, and Ahmad Sharif hit another one, but look at the great save by Michael Smith. He had 18 rebounds. It ends up back in the hands of Phelps, who hits the outside shot, and Paul Evans was absolutely disgusted, as well he should be. More Friars in the second half. They crash the boards. Dickie Simpkins with the putback. And to close it out, it's Western inside with the hoop, and Rick Barnes' team beats Pitt on an ugly performance by Pittsburgh, 53-48. Pitt's lowest point total in 8 years.
Thunderdome, and thunderous game indeed. The Gauchos keep it close. Idris Jones fakes out Dexter Boney and sinks it from way downtown. Bang. Vegas would lead by 2 at the half. Raleigh Massimino can't stand it. Neither can J.R. Ryder. He had 6 points and 3 fouls in the first half. In the second half, Ryder breaks and slams in. 24 points. Vegas by 3. Ray Kelly then coming back to drive and put in the reverse lay-in. And here come the Gauchos. You know why they have all those lines on the court? To tell the players and the fans where to run. They were the Ouchos from the Vegas point of view in this game, as the Gauchos pull the upset. Jim Calhoun out sick. The Huskies guided by assistant Howie Dickenman and by Danielle Marshall, putting it to the Black Bears of Maine. Brian Fair made the Bears look like Yogi and Boo Boo, tying the school record with 6 from way downtown. Coach Calhoun finally felt better. With 7:45, he emerged from the locker room to see Marshall wrap it up. Danielle had 20 points, 10 boards. The Black Bears never got any closer than 27 down. At one point, it was 41 points.
To Columbus, it was a game Indiana led most of the way. 10 seconds left. Would Ohio State go for the lead? Yes. Jamie Skelton with a 3. It's good, and the Buckeyes lead by 1, and the clock goes to 0-0, and St. John Arena absolutely erupts. The crowd thinks it's over. However, the officials, who did an outstanding job in some tough situations late in the game, settled the coaches down as they were arguing about time on the clock and fans on the court and technical fouls. They put 2 seconds back on. And watch what Bobby Knight did in the timeout. He sets up that play right there to draw the blocking foul on Ohio State, which was the correct call. They got the freshman Anderson to commit the block. So Reynolds goes to the line, hits the first free throw to tie the game, misses the second, and then the tip won't go in either, and we go to overtime. In the OT, the Buckeyes dominated. Alex David, the three. Indiana was down 3. Then Lawrence Funderburk fights, gets it, scores it, and was fouled. Ohio State went up 6. Indiana tied it, but the Buckeyes pull away in the end. And disappointment for number 1 as Indiana loses the game 81-77 in overtime. And for the 5th time this year, number 1 has lost. So Indiana will not go unbeaten. Tech UVA with the turnover, and that starts the Tech transition. Travis Best to Drew Barry. Throw it down with the right hand. You want Drew Barry more? Yeah, you get more from Barry to Malcolm Mackey inside. And the Tech team at home had Jeff Jones's team down 4. Second half, watch Barry to Best. The B team was the A team on this night, the inside hoop. And Best, the sophomore from Springfield, Massachusetts, with a Hall of Fame performance. 26 points, 8 assists. Virginia shoots just 38% from the field. In Philadelphia, Syracuse and Villanova. You see Syracuse up 2, but they make a bad inbounds pass. Turn it over. It ends up in the hands of Kerry Kittles, who hits the 3 and puts Villanova up 1. Game over? No. The officials looked at the TV replay again, and they put back some time on the clock. So we go from 0-0 to 1.3. Mike Hopkins, the baseball inbounds to Conrad McRae, who spins and shoots and hits at the buzzer. One of the most dramatic Syracuse wins in quite since Pearl Washington did it to Georgetown in the Dome in '84. Look at this play. Does it look familiar? In the Spectrum, the same arena, the same hoop as the Leitner shot in the tournament last year to beat Kentucky. However, it should be pointed out, Rick Pitino didn't guard the inbounds pass in this game. In the Villanova game, Steve Lapis guarded the inbounds pass. So those of you who criticized Pitino last year,
on the other, there's Dana Altman looking on. Late in the game, Kansas State by 2. Vincent Jackson inside, bullying through with 2 of his 14. K-State by 4. On the other end, Jeff Webster doing his stuff, gets the roll. He had 26 on the night. Sooners down by just 2, but State answers. Darrell Cunningham gets the lay-in. Kansas State rallies from 16 points down to beat Billy Tubbs' team. You know, this was payback to Billy Tubbs, who said after the first loss that Oklahoma would, quote, beat the hell out of them in Norman. It was K-State's second season sweep of the Sooners in 3 years. It was bad Tuesday at Baton Rouge, especially for Alabama, who lost to LSU. Baylor up by 2 with the ball, but Nelson Haggerty is trapped. David Diaz with a steal, goes to Outlaw to Jesse Drain, who misses the jam. Haggerty gets the rebound, goes the other way to Willie Sublet, to Anthony Lewis with a big slam to give Baylor a 4-point lead. But wait a minute, the refs ruled no basket. Why? Well, let's look at the replay. Watch the ball. Goes in the net, but not through the net. Bounced up and out, so correct call. So Houston takes advantage down the wire. Anthony Goldwire with a drive, the hoop, and the foul. So Baylor goes on to win this one by a point, 76-75. The Outlaw, Charles Outlaw, scoring 18.
they can earn the target of number 1 in the land, starting with a win at Tennessee. The Vols 3-9 in the SEC, so this figured to be easy for Jamal Mashburn and company, but it wasn't. Not a good first half for Mash. Misses off the window, then misses the dunk, and that starts the break the other way for Tennessee. It's LaMarcus Golden leading the break. Nice no-look feed. Corey Allen beat Mashburn back up the court. Rick Pitino and company were down 9 at the half, but the second half, after a 7-point first half, Mashburn works on the triple team and gets 2 of his 26. Then watch Jamal starting outside. The strong drive with the left hand and the hoop. Kentucky took the lead. Now it was 125 left. Tied at 70. Lang Weissman, the back door is open, and the Vols lead by 2. Will the Wildcats go for the tie? No, they go for the lead. Mashburn drives, kicked out by Dent to Travis Ford, and Kentucky takes a 1-point lead. 4 seconds left. Kentucky leads by 2. Allen Houston made the first free throw. The coach's son missed the second. Rebound, no, but on the putback, Corey Allen score it with 1. He gets fouled on the play, hits the free throw, and a great, shocking win for Tennessee, beating Kentucky by 1. And after the game, Rick Pitino said that's what March Madness is all about. Would stop the point guard, Bobby Hurley for Duke, and nobody on this night. The feed to Antonio Lang, who had a career-high 17. Second half, it's Bobby on the offense. The strong move, and watch the scoop over all the arms for 2. Hurley had 16. Even Cherokee Parks couldn't believe what the senior point guard was doing. Then Hurley, who throws the alley-oop better than anybody else, to Thomas Hill. And one more of his team record, 16 assists. Hurley, the bullet pass to T. Hill for the jam. They're going to retire Bobby Hurley's jersey before a game this weekend. Well-deserved. Duke wins by 23. Hurley has 31 assists. Second half, Randolph Childress throws it up. Rodney Rogers throws it back down. He had 27. But Clemson was led by Chris Whitney. Pulling up from the outside, he had 4 threes and 20 points. Time running down. Wake down 2. Rogers going for the tie, gets stripped by Whitney to preserve the win. And Clemson with a huge home win, knocking off Wake Forest by 2. Clemson, just their 3rd ACC win of the year. Norm Stewart upset. Why? His team rallied back from down 15. They tied the game. Then Javon Crudup hits the 3, and Missouri leads 64-61. One chance left for the Cowboys. Desperation with 2 seconds left.
To go. Cowboys with the basketball. Reeves. He made it! We are going to overtime! Oh, my!
That's big country. Bryant Reeves, the most improved sophomore in the country. Many think, look at him, catch the ball, and if you work it out with a stopwatch, the time works out just right, and he knew it was on the right way. And we go to overtime. And in overtime, Reeves, after hitting his first career three-pointer, didn't let up. Watch his defense in OT. The weak side help for the block that starts the break the other way. Brooks Thompson to Fred Burley, who lays it up and in. The Cowboys take a 7-point lead. Hang on and come up with a big win by 4. Reeves had 14 boards to go with his 27. Okie State has won 7 of its last 8. Missouri has lost 5 as his team was struggling and in trouble. And late in the game, when they needed a hoop, Wisconsin goes to Tracy Webster, who is a little bit out of control, but still gets the hoop, puts the Badgers up 2. Wisconsin up 2. Watch Mike Finley. He's the only Wisconsin player at the line, but he gets the rebound. 5 Spartans looked at each other. Yeah, that is a reason to hit yourself in the head, Judd. Stu Jackson doing a great job at Wisconsin. They sweep Michigan State for the first time in 5 years. The Badgers snap a 4-game slide.
Philadelphia, Hardaway, a guy'd be a lottery pick if he decided to go pro. First half, the block, so he starts it with defense, and a nice pass to Billy Smith for 2. Memphis State on the run in the first half. Gerald Horn with a block, and Hardaway taking it the other way. Tigers with a 9-point lead at halftime. Second half, though, the Owls turned around. Eddie Jones to the hole. He's fouled. He gets it to go. Jones scored 18 to lead Temple to the rallying victory. So they're now 13-10 with that difficult schedule. Rick Brunson and Aaron McKee added 16 each. Hardaway made just 4 of 12 3-point shots only in Connecticut. Second half, Scott Burrell with a steal. Kevin Ollie, the dish to Donnie Marshall and the Huskies with an 8-point lead. Boston College rallying behind Gerard Abram with a 3-pointer from the side. He had 23 points off the bench. Game tied at 60 under a minute to go. Ollie going to drive and give the Huskies a 2-point lead, then 30 seconds to play. Abram driving, but that is a 4% shot with the game on the line. The Huskies hold on to win 69-64. Burrell finished with 21. UConn beating the Eagles for the 11th straight time. Boston College trying for its first tournament